Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is a 666 Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. As a lot of you know, I get a bit bored fighting on the same flat, featureless maps. I should imagine a lot of you do too. You know, it's a bit boring playing on those flat, featureless maps. So every now and again I like to host on a different map, like an old school map, maps that we used to play on many years ago. And this particular map is one of my favourite old maps that I host on, and of course it is the Sarmatian Tump. Okay, this is a Sarmatian mound, the Sarmatian mound map here. And as you can see here, with the big mound in the middle of the map, the rest of the map, if you notice, is quite flat. Okay, and you'll see both teams here normally will try and get control of the top of the mound. Okay, but this battle is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit more tactical and maybe not exactly what you're expecting, because we've seen other battles on this map, and we know that usually there is a massive battle for the top of that mound there, and then the battle ensues all the way around that mound. But as I say, the majority of the map, as you can see, is flat, except for the Sarmatian mound in the centre there. Okay, so as I say, it's not like the battles we watched before. It's a little bit tactically different. Okay, and as I say, it should be an exciting battle for you to watch. Our first teammate is Brotherhood member Danny. Now Danny has got 3 archers, 6 cavalry and just 10 infantry. Okay, so only 10 infantry. Is that enough for the modern day battlefield? I guess we'll have to see. As you can see, he's got 7 upgrades on his cavalry and experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. As you can see, most of his army is hiding in the woods. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member First Prime. Now First Prime has got the old school 31k bog standard Roman army of 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. It's not the exact bog standard 31k Roman army because he's got an eagle unit there, look, for a bit of extra morale. I think that's an early legionary first cohort unit there, but that eagle unit will give his infantry more morale, plus of course he's got an infantry general as well, so he's got an eagle unit plus his infantry general giving morale to his infantry there. Interesting to see how he'll do with that army. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Barkyman, who has unusually bought a Germania faction. Now he's got 5 archers, 3 spear warband, 5 knight raiders, 3 berserkers and 4 cavalry. Okay, so those of you that might not have seen the knight raiders, there's a knight raiders there. Now remember, these infantry are good infantry in their own right, but they bring a fear factor, taking morale away from enemy troops and destabilizing them, making them more susceptible to routing. And then we've got the spear warband here. Okay, these are 121 man units. You don't see them used that often, but they can be quite good pilot shield units, and of course they are anti-cavalry, so unusual to see them in a Germanic army. As I say, you don't usually see them that much. And then we've got the infamous Berserkers with their effective against armor maces, their 2 hit points, and their big massive morale sapping ability, where of course they again take morale away from enemy troops. But just look at the difference in size between the Berserkers and ordinary infantry. You can see a big difference there. So watch out for those Berserkers during the course of the battle. Quick look at the upgrades on his Gothic cavalry. I'm thinking probably, yeah, about 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. But do you notice anything missing from the Germanic army that most people bring? The chosen axemen with their effective against armor axes. Unusual not to have them, but I think he's going for the fear factor here by bringing so many knight raiders, taking a lot of morale away from enemy troops. Our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who's got 13 Spartan units and 7 archers there. Okay, so there's our team. Quite diverse, really, I suppose. As I say, you got Danny with Rome. We've got First Prime with Rome, we've got Barkyman with Germania, and myself with Greek cities. Watch out for a spectacular chariot charge in this battle. Okay, at this stage of the battle I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about tactical change from the usual tactics on this battle map. As I say, the enemy team will try and capture the top of the mound, and usually we would try and capture the top of the mound as well, and the battle would ensue all round the mound there, okay, as we've seen in the past. But with one of our allies bringing Germania, there's no way that Germania would be able to hold the top of that mound. Okay, so what we've done is we decided we're going to surrender the mound to the enemy, and we're going to set back here on a flat part of the map. Okay, as I say, Germania wouldn't be able to hold that mound, and we realise that as a team. So we've all set back from the mound and are quite happy to surrender the mound to the enemy. And over here, I'd just like to show you my old school, old-fashioned Greek cities battle formation here. As we've seen in a lot of recent battles, a lot of good Greek cities generally have used the modern Greek cities formation, where they spread their Spartans out, make the most of their flexibility. But as I say, you can see this is very old school, old-fashioned, maybe even out-of-date formation. But it'd be interesting to see how it does during the course of the battle. As you know, I like to bring old-fashioned, old-school stuff to the modern-day battlefield. And as I say, this should be a cracking battle for you to watch, and I hope you enjoy it. And here is the other team. We have Greek clans member Cleomenes. Now Cleomenes has got 4 archers, 13 pikes and 3 cavalry. And just to say, as we've talked about before, the Greek clans mission on Rome Total War was to become the best clan with the pike and spear faction. And to this end, they practiced for hours and hours and hours to become the best players with the pike and spear factions. And I think by the time they finished, most RTW players did think that the Greek clan was the best with the pike and spear factions. Very tough with these factions here. Whenever you see a Greek clansman across the battlefield from you with a pike or spear faction, you know you're in for a challenge. Quick look at the upgrades on his battle formation there. You'll notice his forward unit's going to make first contact with the enemy. 7 upgrades, an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack. But as we move further back into the battle formation there, if you notice, he's got 8 upgrades on his infantry there, on his pikemen. So he's got 2 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. So he's actually got staggered upgrades, but the majority of his pikemen there have got 8 upgrades on, 2 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. And make no mistake, this would be a tried and tested Macedonian army that Cleomenes would have bought in the past. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Man 2. Now Man 2 has got 14 pikes and 6 chariots. Okay, and if you look at the upgrades on his pikes, you'll see that he's got 8 upgrades, 2 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his pikemen there. Okay, and that's all through his battle formation there. So all of his pikemen's got 2 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. And just look at the length of those pikes as well. Difficult for our troops to fight down. And there you are, he's got his 6 cavalry over there. Obviously there's some hiding in the woods there, but he's got 6 chariots there. As I say, these can be a double-edged sword. They've got a big, massive fear factor, and they got big attacking specifications. But of course, if they run amok, they kill both friend and foe alike. And as we've said in other battle videos as well, when they run amok, they seem to be stronger and more powerful in amok mode, and so which seems strange to me, but as I say, they can then kill both friend and foe alike. So it's kind of a judgment on whether you want to bring chariots or not, being they are a double-edged sword. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Clash. Now Clash has got 12 infantry and 6 cavalry. We haven't seen Clash on Rome Total War for a while, so it's nice to see him back. I think he feels he might be a bit rusty, but we'll see during the course of the battle. And as I say, nice to see him back on Rome Total War. And their last teammate is RTW player Serena. Now he's got a very unusual infantry army here. Serena's got 8 infantry, 6 cavalry and 6 archers here. But if you have a look at the upgrades on these urban cohorts, you'll see Serena has put 8 upgrades on, 2 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. How often do you see urban cohorts with 2 experienced stripes on, gold shield, gold attack? So that makes this infantry quite serious infantry, but there is only 8 of them. Okay, I've noticed that he's obviously got the infantry general and an eagle unit there. So on top of the fantastic upgrades on this infantry, they've got a lot of morale going on there from the eagle unit and the infantry general. But at the end of the day, there are only 8 infantry. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do during the course of the battle. He's got his 6 cavalry. I'm guessing he's only got gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry, because of course he's spent all his money on his infantry. And there's his 6 archers there as well. So there's the enemy team. As I say, I think you'll find this an interesting battle. Different tactics for this Sarmatian mound, this game, from what we've seen in the past. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this stage of the battle, you'll see the enemy now are capturing the mound, the Sarmatian mound. And usually, as I say, we would be attacking on from the other side there. But of course, as I say, with Germania, we wouldn't be able to hold the mound there. So that's why we've set further back there and have surrendered the mound to the enemy. You'll see Serena is moving his army over here as well, probably with a view to help take the Sarmatian mound as well. And as I say, you can see the enemy team now has well and truly captured that Sarmatian mound there. And as I say, in other battles when we fought on this map, you've seen that both armies have come up from both sides there and have fought. But as I say, with Germania there, we wouldn't be able to hold the mound. And I'm thinking here that Cleomenes' Macedonians, when he decides to move his army, he'll probably move that towards the mound as well. And that mound will then be thoroughly secured by the enemy team. And then we, as a team, have got to make a decision on what we're going to do. Okay, so you can see the enemy there with a big advantage there, grabbing the mound. Now what we've got to do here, what would you do if you were our team? Let's just pause the game for a second here. Now if you were our team, what would you do? Would you attack up the mound there towards the enemy? Do you think that would be a good tactical and strategic plan? Or do you think we should just stay here on the flat part of the map and encourage the enemy to come down to us? What do you think you would do? Do you think you would attack, or do you think you would just stay down here and try and encourage the enemy team to come down to us? So just to let you know, we're decided we are obviously not going to attack up that mound, and we're going to stay here. We may even pull back further there to show the enemy team that we've got no intention of attacking that Sarmatian mound, and they're going to have to come down to us there. Okay, so you can see Serena moving that SPQR army over towards the mound. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle, you'll see that the enemy have decided to move down from the Sarmatian mound down onto the flat part of the map. You'll see Serena here is moving his army round to the left here, maybe thinking of a left flanking action there. Remember, his infantry got 8 upgrades on, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Unusual to see that. But what I'd like to draw your attention to is something over here, and that is Man 2's Chariots. Now later on in the battle, you may well see a spectacular chariot charge that may prove to be decisive in this battle. Okay, so just keep an eye on these chariots moving slowly round our flank. He's not running around, he's moving slowly, hoping that maybe we don't notice them. But I certainly did, and probably the Allies did as well there. Okay, so as you can see, we're forming up. We've actually moved back further than from our initial position there to try and encourage the enemy to come down from the mound, because, as I say, there was no chance that we were going to attack up that mound there. As I say, we've encouraged them now down onto the flat part of the map here, and you can see our Germanic ally here has got his chosen archers out the front of our army here to engage the enemy archers. But what I'd like to show you here is, can you see that the enemy archers are in open order where his archers aren't? And as I say, you can see the enemy move around to the left flank there with possibly a flanking action involved there. Okay, so as I say, if you notice here, you'll see Cleomenes' archers in open order there. Okay, remember, when you put units in open order, they suffer less damage from missiles. But here you can see Barclayman has still got his archers in close tight formation. So he will lose a lot more men in that close tight formation than what he will in open order. As you can see here, down to 16 men there, and Cleomenes has got, as I say, his archers in open order there, wide open order there, so he's going to suffer a lot less casualties than our Germanic ally. My guess is that hopefully our Germanic ally will open up his archers there into open order. In fact, I think one of our allies did say to him to put his archers in open order, and there you go, you can see now that he is putting his archers in open order, but he's already lost a lot of his archers. And remember, his Germanic army are extremely susceptible to archer damage, so if he loses his archers, then his infantry could then become the target of the enemy troops. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. As I say, you can see Serena here with infantry and cavalry looking to move his army round to our left flank. And as you can notice there, you'll see that Clash, I believe, is moving his cavalry, moving them slowly there round to our left flank as well. So maybe the left flank is where they're deciding they may well attack us there. Okay, but as I say, meanwhile, our Germanic allies losing a lot of his archers there. And as I say, you can see they're very, very reduced there by Cleomenes' Cretan archers there. Chosen archers are pretty tough archers. They got good defense, but they do need to be put in open order. As you can see the Berserkers there. This is the units that Cleomenes would really like to target with his archers. If he can take out the Germanic archers there, he would like to move his archers forward and target obviously the Berserkers and the Knight Raiders as well, who are extremely susceptible to archer damage. But here you'll see I'm moving my 7 archer units out here towards the enemy archers. As I say, you can see I've got mine in open order as well. To as we said earlier, units in open order do suffer a lot less casualties than units in close tight order. Once again, just to remind you, keep an eye on these chariots. As you can see, let's sneakily moving very slowly around our flank. Man 2 hoping that we don't notice the chariots there moving slowly around the flank, ready to charge in when he thinks that's the best time to do that. And I remember when I was here, I was a bit worried about Cleomenes' cavalry there charging into my archers, but he didn't in the end. But as I say, you can see I'm putting a lot of archer fire down onto his units there, and even though his units were in open order, because I've got 7 fresh archers there, done a lot of damage to those Cretan archers. Here you are, you can see Cleomenes moving his Macedonians forward there. Very aggressive there with Macedon he can be, as we've seen in the past. As I say, they're kind of leading the charge of his team. You can see Pontus and enemy SPQR troops moving forward as well. And over on our other flank, as I say, on our left flank there, you could see Serena looked like he was going to move his army around the flank, but he looks like he's going to move his army over towards his allies now. So maybe they've decided a different attack route. And you notice our Germanic ally is now pulling his infantry back. I think he's lost all his archers now, so he's aware that his infantry, who are very susceptible to archer damage, could become a target for the enemy archers there, especially his powerful Berserker units. That is who they will be aiming for there. But there's a bit of a gap now, look, between First Prime and Danny's army there. As I say, you can see my archers there. We've taken out most of the enemy Cretan archers there, so what I'd like to do now is start targeting the Macedonian general. Okay, that's where I would like to target there. Get most of my arrows in on that general, and maybe if we're lucky we'll take out the Macedonian general. We know Macedon morale's not very good anyway, so if we could take the general out, that would help us here. But here you can see that Cleomenes has lifted his pikes. He's running forward here, very aggressive with Macedon. Most Macedonian generals that you see are pretty well defensive for most of the time. And as I say, you can see here, up pikes running forward here, looking to me to try and hit our archers there, because he knows now he's lost all his archers that he is very susceptible to archer damage there. So it wouldn't surprise me if he ran forward, I suppose again for a second, ran forward here and charged into our archers. And I say, I've just started to target his general there, and he'll realise that that's probably who I'm going to go for. So it looks to me like he's upped pikes again, which tells me he's going to run forward again here, probably trying to catch our archers there before we can move back out the way. He may well try and rout them. That's maybe what is going through his mind there. As I say, up pikes, that means he's going to run, and anywhere you can see he's going to run forward there, and it looks like he's going to run into my archers. I've got them on skirmish mode, so I don't know why they're not running away now. They need to run before they get hit by those pikes, because those pikes will rout them. The numbers that Macedonian bring as well can intimidate enemy troops and make them more susceptible to rout him. So as I say there, you can see him running forward, very aggressive there. But if you notice here, he is a little bit isolated from his allies. Can you see he's a little bit isolated from his allies? Now, can we make the most of that? You can see that his Roman ally and his Pontus are a long way away. Now I'm wondering whether we can make the most of that, or whether he'll notice that and pull back. Once again, just like to remind you that those chariots are slowly moving around our flank. But as I say here, he may well realise that he is a bit isolated. He may well up pikes and run back towards his allies here. That probably would be a good tactical move, and that's what he's going to do. Look, he realised he was a little bit isolated, so he's going to move his army back, which is a good move there. As I say, you can see the rest of the enemy troops starting to move forward now towards our army. And you can see, I think our Germanic ally Barclayman there is bringing over some of his 121-man spear units there. As I say, you don't see these spear warband units used that much. As I say, their morale's not very good, spec's not very good, but they can be good anti-cavalry units, and you can use them as pilot shield units as well, because as I say, there's 121 of them. Be interesting to see how they do against Macedonian pikes if the Macedonians attack. Okay, over on this flank here, you'll see I'm moving my Greek cities back in towards my allies there. What I'd like to do here is try and defend my Germanic allies there against enemy archers or any enemy attack going in on them, because of course, as we've seen in other battle videos, if enemy troops get close to those berserkers will activate, and of course once they activate they come out of the Germanic general's control. So that's the last thing we want, really. If you notice here, I've got my, because we've taken out most of the enemy archers now, I've got my archers in close tight formation for more impact and more damage. And make no mistake, I will be targeting those Macedonian pikemen there, probably just starting to target the Macedonian general there unit. Hopefully maybe try and kill him off here. But if you notice here, can you see that first prime is a little bit kind of forward of our team there, and he may well become a little bit isolated. Can you see, make no mistake here, what Cleomenes is doing with his Macedonians is trying to form a blocking force there to stop Danny getting reinforcements over the first prime, while the his Pontus ally here moves forward there. Okay, so make no mistake here, Cleomenes is trying to be a blocking force here, stop Danny getting reinforcements over the first prime. And as I say, you can see that both Clash and Mantu are going to move their armies in towards first prime. Now my guess is if first prime sees a lot of pressure coming on to his forward units, he may well pull his infantry back out of harm's way there. But as I say, you can see Mantu really pushing forward there with his well upgraded Pontus pikemen. And you can see there's already one unit of first prime's infantry has already been routed here. If you notice here, you'll see Danny has put a few units out here on the right flank, trying to get around the right flank of Cleomenes' pikemen there. Okay, that's quite a good move, except you can see the enemy SPQR cavalry are coming over to this flank, and it wouldn't surprise me here if they targeted Danny's infantry here that he's put round. You can see those units are a little bit isolated. I think his cavalry are back in the woods. Once again, please make a note of these chariots here. Okay, you can see them there. And as I say, Mantu will bring them in just when he thinks at the right time they would do the most damage. So as I say, you're going to see a spectacular chariot charge a bit later on, and that could prove to be decisive in the battle. Okay, so as I say here, you can see both Serena and Clash's SPQR cavalry coming over here. Get ready for this, and bang! As they smash in one of Danny's units, you can see Serena's cavalry charging there as well, and bang! So there's 12 units of well upgraded cavalry there that are going to take out, my guess is, both those Julia units of Danny. Now that's a nice combination cavalry attack there by Serena and Clash. Nice to see a combination cavalry attack here. As we thought, you can see first prime is now moving his infantry back, okay, from the threat there. But here I just wanted to show you, remember the length of those Pontus pikes there. Remember, that's a heck of a lot of length to fight down to kill the man on the other end there. So that's what those the length of those Pontus pikes are, and against my short spears here of my Spartans. So remember there, those short spears of Spartans, not much of a match for the long pikes of Pontus there. So I don't really want to take that Pontus army on head on if I can possibly help it there, because I will suffer loads of casualties before I can even fight down the pikes to kill the man on the other end. And as I say, over here you can see that combination attack by Clash and Serena there with their cavalry. Great combination attack there. As I say, if allies can work together with their cavalry, they can be absolutely devastating there. And as I say, you can see that they're even moving into the third unit of Danny's. They might not press home the attack there, but they would have caused a lot of damage to that unit there, and then they're going to pull their cavalry back now they've done the damage they've wanted to. So as I say, great combination attack there by Serena and Clash there. Okay, so over here now, I'm a bit slow here. I should have moved my Spartan army back a bit quicker than what I've done, because those Pontus pikemen have actually moved forward so quickly. They are now engaging the forward units of my battle formation here, and you can see they've already killed some of my Spartans. As I say, just look at the length of those pikes there. Plus, if you notice here, I'm getting fire arrowed as well. I think that's from Serena's archers there, shooting fire arrows into me. So of course, as I turn to run, showing the weakest part of my units, the rear, I'm going to suffer a lot of damage from that archer fire there. Okay, so as I say, I'm trying to run away from that Pontus pike army. I don't want to take them on head on there, but you can see they're pushing forward there. And you can see that Serena there is trying to get those well upgraded SBQR units around my flank as well. So if you like there, I'm getting double attack there by Pontus and SBQR. Okay, you've got all of Clash's fresh army there. You can move that army in any direction. He may well go for first prime, as Cleomenes has got that blocking Macedonian army force there against Danny there. Okay, plus you've got Serena and Clash's cavalry ready to charge in when they want to there. Plus, as I say, you've got Man 2's chariots out on the flank there ready to charge in when Man 2 feels the right time to do the most damage for those chariots there. Okay, so as I say here, you can see I'm moving my Spartans back. I remember there was one unit seemed to be kind of stuck. Yeah, that unit there. I don't know why it's not running away. It's kind of got hooked on those Pontus pikes. Instead of running away, it just seems to be standing there, probably going to rout now. And as I say, you've got the enemy SBQR infantry moving in now. This SBQR infantry has got pretty close to my Spartans, so what I'm thinking about doing here is a sideways swipe, a sideways attack here onto Serena's infantry. Okay, so I've up spears and I'm now running my Spartans into that SBQR infantry there to attack them. As you can see, I'm going to do that, attack those SBQR infantry, and I'm hoping my Germanic ally, who I know has got units hiding in the woods there, could well help there with those Night Raiders, taking morale away from the enemy troops. Right, let's pause the game for a second here. So can you see what the enemy troops are saying there? Can you see intimidated by nearby enemy? Intimidated by nearby enemy there. And that's the Night Raiders. Okay, as I say, the Night Raiders bring a big fear factor, so that's why these guys are intimidated by nearby enemy troops, which means their morale will drop, making them more susceptible to routing. But as I say, he's got 2 experience stripes on his infantry, so they won't be affected as much as if they were just gold shield, gold attack. I'm hoping he's going to throw his Night Raiders into the attack as well to help out. And as I say here, you can see First Prime has moved his infantry back here, away from the initial attack. And as I say, you've got Danny over here on this flank. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I notice that the enemy are moving their cavalry onto the other flank here. They may well be looking to take out my Greek cities army there, and they may well be looking to take out the Germanic army as well there. The way they're moving their reinforcements over there, and bang! As they charge in. Right, I'd just like to show you a nice little move here by Barclayman. Okay, Barclayman had his cavalry hiding in the woods. Okay, he had those cavalry hiding in the woods. The enemy had no idea, and so he's just brought them out of hiding in the woods and smashed them into the rear of 2 of the most important units of Serena's army, his general, okay, and his eagle unit. So the 2 morale giving units there, he's smashed into the rear of that, and we between us are going to sandwich hammer and anvil attack, or sandwich attack there, my infantry being the anvil and his cavalry being the hammer. So that was a nice attack there. Okay, we've got Pontus pikemen moving in behind my Greek cities army, and we've got all this SBQR cavalry coming over here as well. Now whether that SBQR cavalry is going to smash into my Spartans, we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, I've got First Prime's cavalry there, which he may well bring into the attack there from that direction. We'll just have to wait and see. And as I say, we've got the Night Raiders involved. We've got a Berserker unit that's been activated as well. So we've got a lot of attack going on here into this enemy SBQR infantry. But please remember that SBQR infantry's got 2 experience stripe on, so they've got a lot of morale there. And as I say, with 2 experience stripes, they're not going to rout as easy as just gold shield, gold attack infantry there. Right, you can see all that enemy SBQR cavalry charging in there, trying to take out the Germanic general's cavalry there. But as I say, I'm going to move my spearmen out towards that cavalry because they could well do a massive attack on my infantry there, so I'm going to move towards them. You can see some Pontus pikemen coming in behind me, and also you can see the Germanic general plus some of our Julii allies infantry attacking some more Pontus pikemen. And this particular part there, I can see another Berserker unit has just been activated. Okay, remember Pontus has not got very good morale. So, but I noticed they've got 2 experience stripes on those pikemen. Right, here's a massive cavalry battle here between Serena and Clash's SBQR cavalry and First Prime's cavalry there. Okay, that's a massive cavalry hit here. And here you can see my Greek city units have got enemy SBQR infantry around them, plus those Pontus pikemen as well. But my Germanic allies got a Berserker unit involved there. Here you can see there that Berserker unit's going to charge in, plus we've got Knight Raider units. But as I say, I've got the long pikes of Pontus pushing into me. But make no mistake here, I've got units fighting in all different directions. Where are the threats coming in for me? Have you got units fighting in that direction? I've got units fighting in that direction, and I've got units fighting those Pontus pikemen coming in on me as well. So we've got a lot of all my infantry are fighting in a lot of different directions there. Plus here you can see the Pontus pikemen there. They've just taken out a whole unit of Knight Raiders there. As I say, barbarian infantry are extremely susceptible to pike damage. You can see another looks like another unit of Knight Raiders has been taken out. But you've got enemy, our allies, sorry, Julii infantry plus another Berserker unit attacking those Pontus pikemen. Okay, now over here you can see Danny's doing a very aggressive attack on the flank of the Macedonians there. He may even be looking to try and attack Clash his SBQR army. Remember, Danny can be very, very aggressive. He's got his cavalry here. Looks like he's going to try and chase off the Macedonian cavalry there of Cleomenes. But also, you might have noticed there that the chariots are moving in. Okay, so as I say here, Danny is attacking with his Julii troops. He may well not have noticed that the chariots are coming in on him here, because if you notice here, he's just facing the enemy Macedonians. Okay, there's that Macedonian cavalry charged in there, but if you notice in the background, the chariots are now moving forward. Okay, Mantu has decided it's time to bring those chariots in. Okay, so when they hit, they're going to hit hard. As I say, my Greek city units are now pretty well surrounded by enemy SBQR troops and Pontus troops there. And as I say, you've got Pontus pikemen here fighting our allies Julii troops and Germanic troops here. But as I say, First Prime's doing really well against the cavalry of Serena and Clash there. I think that one of the SBQR troops take their cavalry off to attack Germania there, some Germanic units there, which of course will help First Prime not being up against 2 cavalry armies there, if you like. But here you can see my units pretty well surrounded. I've just bought some Rallied units in that were routed by the Pontus pikemen earlier. Okay, but here come the chariots. What a spectacular chariot attack here. Look how he's got them in open order as he charges them in. Can you see how spread out they are across the battlefield? And make no mistake, when they hit, they're going to hit hard. If you notice there, Danny's brought his cavalry out. My guess is he put that cavalry into guard mode, which is the classic cavalry defense against chariot attacks here. But Mantu's not going to attack the cavalry as much, as he's going to smash into the infantry there with those chariots and bang as they charge in there. Make no mistake, that is a massive chariot charge in there, and if these Julii units start to rout, that could well signal the end of the battle there. Right, you can see there a lot of Julii units are starting to rout. Oh my gosh, look at that massive chariot attack there. Oh my gosh, and I think all of Danny's infantry has just been taken out. You can see his general's gone there, and I think all of his units there, all his infantry units have just been taken out by that massive chariot hit. That was a really well-timed hit there. And as I say, I think that could be a battle-winning cavalry charge. You've got all of Clash's fresh infantry there. If he throws them in now to First Prime, and we've already got Macedon pikes in there, he could take out First Prime's army as well. If you notice here, as I say, Danny brought his cavalry out to try and neutralise the chariot attack. If you notice how his cavalry are stood, they're in guard mode there, holding their spears. As I say, that's a classic cavalry defence against the chariot attack there, so he's done well. But unfortunately, all his infantry there has been taken out. As I say, if Clash moves in with his infantry, that will be that, I think. As I say, here you can see I've up spears and I'm charging towards my allies there who are fighting those Pontus pikes. Over here you'll see that First Prime's done really well. He's routed all that SPQR cavalry that was there, so that's good news for us. He might need to get his cavalry over onto the other flank now, but as I say, I've up spears now and I'm charging my infantry over towards where my allies are fighting against those Pontus pikemen there. Okay, I just see the Pontus general's been routed there. That's good news for us. And as I say, here you can see I've got my Spartans over there in a sandwich attack there between my allies' Julii army and my Spartans there. You've got those Pontus pikemen in between being squeezed, and they've just routed as well. You've got enemy SPQR cavalry charging into the flank there. But as I say, there's a sandwich attack. You've got Germanic and Julii troops there, plus my Spartans moving in from the rear. So that's a real sandwich attack on those Pontus pikemen there. So we've done quite well attacking there. But meanwhile, over here on our other flank there, as I say, you can see a lot of First Prime's units been routed, as well as I think all of Danny's infantry has now been taken out by that, as I say, that massive chariot charge. Right here you can see, as I say, Clash has got his full untouched army there that he could run forward there, and if he attacks our allies' Julii army there in combination with his Macedonian ally, then all of First Prime's infantry could well be taken out. There's still chariots there. I see there's some chariots running amok. Make no mistake, those amok chariots going through those SPQR infantry will be killing loads of them there. Okay, you can see a load of those chariots are now running amok, and they will be killing both friend and foe alike. Okay, but as I say, here you can see Clash moving his SPQR infantry forward. Now if he smashes in to First Prime's Julii infantry there in combination with his Macedonian ally, that could well mean that First Prime's infantry could well be taken out. You can see them charging in there. You can see our Germanic ally is bringing a Berserker unit in to help First Prime. If you notice here, I'm running my Spartans over as well here as fast as I can to try and help First Prime there, seeing what he's up against. Our Germanic ally is throwing his infantry in there as well. So we're trying to throw in everything that we've got left in to help in First Prime there, okay? So as I say, there's a lot of pressure on First Prime's infantry, plus I see there's some enemy cavalry in behind. As I say, our Germanic ally is throwing what troops he's got in to the SPQR troops. Plus, if you notice here, you can see First Prime is keeping his general out of the fray, so that it's still giving morale bonus to his troops, but aren't actually fighting there. You'll only throw that general in if he really needs to. As I say, I've got my Spartans coming over there. Now you've got First Prime's cavalry and Danny's cavalry. Now it's a lot of powerful cavalry there. If they bring those over, that could well make a difference to the battle there. But as I say, here you can see that we're throwing everything in here. As you go, uh-oh, there comes that Macedonian cavalry of Cleo's there. Bang! Smashed into the rear, look. Doing a lot of damage there. As I say, if he charges that Macedonian cavalry, if he pushes that Macedonian cavalry in to First Prime's infantry there, you could well see some routing going on here. Here you can see our allies charge. I think that's First Prime's Julii cavalry has just smashed through my Greek cities into the enemy SPQR infantry there. But unfortunately here you'll see that Macedonian cavalry has routed a couple of First Prime's units. I think First Prime may well only have a couple of infantry units left now. That's including his general unit. The rest of his infantry, I think, looks like they've been taken out, and all those Macedonians and SPQR troops now can turn onto our troops as well there. Okay, so things not looking very good there, but luckily I can see another cavalry attack coming in there from Danny's cavalry. I think that's Danny's cavalry coming in behind the enemy troops there. Nice cavalry attack there as he charges into the rear of those Macedonian troops. Now remember, Macedonian troops have not got very good morale. If they get smashed and start suffering casualties, they could well rout. You can see Danny there moving his cavalry in, plus I'm pressing in with my Spartans there as well. Look, can you see we've routed the Macedonian general, so they've lost a lot of morale. My Greek cities are really pushing in onto those SPQR troops. We've got all our Julii allies troops that they've got left pushing in there, plus we've got our Germanic ally pushing everything he's got in there as well, and Danny's cavalry charging in there. So as I say, if we can start getting a few of those units to rout, we may well get a mass rout going there, because you can see the enemy are really in kind of a close, tight formation there. And as I say, if they blob and a few units start to rout, you can get a mass rout going there. And you can see here we're pressing everything we've got left into those SBQR troops. The general's just been routed there of the SBQR troops there, and it looks like we've managed to go on to rout most of the enemy troops there. So quite pleased with that there. We've managed to do that, and it looks like our our team has gone on to win the battle there. And my guess is you'll see a lot of the enemy troops, enemy generals now starting to admit defeat. Yes, they've just started to admit defeat there. But basically, apart from a couple of archer units, that is the entirety of our team. That's everything we've got left. There's a couple of archer units out there still, but that is basically all of the troops that we've got left. That's how close this battle was. Okay, first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game. If you look at the troops there, you'll see them raising their swords above their head where they're celebrating a victory. And as I say, it was a close victory there. And this is a very unusual battle, because I wanted to show you something very unusual here. You'll see there are joint top kills here. Okay, so First Prime gets 1,857 kills. Well done to him. But also Greek Cleomenes has also got 1,857 kills. I wonder what the odds are of 8 players playing in a battle and 2 of them getting the exact same kills. Very, very rare, and I imagine the odds must be phenomenal that would happen. So well done to them. So well done to, as I say, Greek Cleomenes, joint highest kills in the game, did well. Well done to Man 2, did well with Pontus, got some quite good kills with Pontus there. So well done to him. Clash probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but he was kind of hammered from all sides towards the end of the battle there. And well done to Serena. Possibly didn't get the kills that he wanted to either, but he was hit by combination attacks there. But well done, guys. Well played. That Spartan army only 1,485 kills. Not bad. Okay. Well done to Barkley, man. Got some good kills with Germania there. Was really supporting all over the battlefield. Well done, as I say, to First Prime, joint highest kills. And well done to Danny. Possibly didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but he was hit by that massive chariot attack, wasn't he? So just to say, really well played, guys. And I thought it was an interesting army. As I say, to get 2 players with exactly the same kills in a 4v4, as I say, I just wonder what the odds of that are there. A very diverse battle, as I say. We got Greek cities, Germania, 2 Romes. There, that was our team against Macedon, Pontus and 2 Romes there. So, let's say, quite a diverse battle. I hope you enjoyed this battle. Please leave a comment if you did, or a thumbs up, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.